What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 55, and we start today's episode by taking a look at Scott McKenna, who as you can see is totally fine. Obviously the man that's been wearing the armband this season for most of the time did pick up that knock towards the end of the game against Aston Villa, but thankfully is totally fine. He ran it off, and Scott McKenna is okay to play in our final 4 games, so thank goodness for that. What a season Scott the Block has had in this team. I mean, he's been absolutely brilliant, man. 9 clean sheets in 25 Premier League games. As we know, this guy is an absolute leader. You guys suggest he takes the captain's armband whilst Norwood gets phased out of the team, and whilst Jack O'Connell is our vice captain here, Jack is that much of a team player. He's given Scott permission to wear the armband pretty much every single game. Future Cardiff City Club captain, no doubt about it. But following that, you can see that Koulibaly is going to join Girona next year on a 1-year loan deal, so good news there as the Ivorian isn't going to get a game in our team next year behind Ollie Shaw, who as you can see with 4 games to go is leading the way in the top assist charts right now with 13 assists after back-to-back assists in his last 2 games. And of course, sure there, Tony is indeed now the record holder for most goals in a 38-game Premier League season with 33 goals. What a season the Shocker is having, and I thought you might enjoy that Premier League top scorer, assists and clean sheets chart. I don't show that as much as I should really, so you guys can stay up to date with who's doing what in terms of the individual stats in a Premier League season. And as you can see, 4 games to go in the Premier League. In our 3rd year at Bramwell Lane, we sit in 6th place right now, 67 points, but it's been a ridiculous season. City have been crowned champions now, 14 points clear of Liverpool, but from Chelsea in 3rd to Manchester United in 8th, there's just 6 points separating 3rd to 8th. 6 points with 4 games to go separate 3rd place, a guaranteed Champions League place, to 8th place, which is no European football whatsoever. It has been such a crazy season, and with just 4 games to go, well, I'll tell you this right now, if we miss out of European football, with Ivan Toney, surely the Golden Boot winner, setting a new Premier League record as they pay homage to him there in the pre-game introduction, I genuinely mean this, I think I will probably resign out of shame. I mean, we genuinely are that close. If we let it slip now, I won't forgive myself, man. I really won't. Because the truth of the matter is, we'll get more chance to do it as the seasons go on, but we've battled so well this season. If we let it slip for our fingers now, I'll be bloody furious. Still, first the final 4 games of the Premier League season on the back of that 3-1 victory against Aston Villa was going to be against Crystal Palace. Roy Hodgson's side come and take us on at Bramwell Lane in the penultimate home game, I should say, of the Premier League season. And how do we start this game off here at home? This is how we'd start the game off here at home. Ivan Toney giving a raucous reception from the fans as he stepped onto the pitch out of the tunnel, as they know they've seen history from our number 29 this year. He wanted to repay the fans for showing faith in him ever since he came in back in season 1 in the January transfer window. What a signing from the Posh this guy has been. They've embraced him from the first day. Ivan Toney has scored at Bramwell Lane 8 minutes into the game to put us into the lead and got his 34th goal in the Premier League to draw a level with Alan Shearer and Andy Cole, who of course have 34 goals in a Premier League season with more than 38 games. But it's still 90 minutes into the game. Scott the Block with another brilliant block there. This guy will play with a broken leg, I swear. It said he had no injuries after the Aston Villa game. I bet he did. I bet he's playing like a tight calf or something. We just don't know about it because he wouldn't let you know. He's a leader. He's a workhorse. So we were leading by a goal at the break, as were Manchester United away at Vicarage Road. They were doing their job away against Watford as they continue to put the pressure on and show they've still got what it takes to be playing European football next season. But it was a really nervy and tense game, this one. We were the favourites to beat Crystal Palace whilst we were leading by a goal and playing quite well. It was very tense. The atmosphere here was, it was very, very tense indeed. And in the 64th minute, we almost settled those nerves and made it 2-0. Ivan Toney sent forward there, 1-1 with the goalkeeper, dinks it over him, but off the crossbar. And then Barry Walsh also hits the post, but he was offside, so that goal wouldn't have counted. So still 1-0. But in the second half, as you can see, I really did decide to play conservative tactics. Now, normally I play a very high pressing game and drag players out of position and try and win the ball back aggressively. But as you can see, we had so many men behind the ball. There were like 8 men behind the ball in the second half. Every single time Palace had possession. And I was just saying to them, come break us down. Come break us down. In the end, they were resorted to crosses and wing play. And when the balls are going into the box, I had faith in McKenna, Torunariga and Godfrey to get the ball away every single time, which they would do. And that was how the game would finish. Final score 1-0. We grind out the victory, as you can see by the fist pump come the final whistle. And as you can see, Palace had 62% possession possession, 90% pass accuracy. We only had one shot on target in the entire game, but it proved to be the game winner, courtesy of Ivan Toney. McKenna, man of the match, playing with that tight calf, I'm sure. Probably a broken wrist in there as well, the leader at the back, as we get the win. And as you can see, after that win there, in the fourth final game of the season, we moved up to third. We're now into third place in the table with 70 points on the board, 1 point clear of Chelsea, 2 clear of Spurs and Arsenal in 5th and 6th, and 3 clear of Everton in 7th place right now. And 4 ahead of Manchester United in 8th place. But it is worth pointing out, whilst we are a point clear of Chelsea and 2 points clear of Spurs and Arsenal, all three of those teams directly below us have games in hand. As you can see, Koulibaly does go to Girona for next year, and Pierre Rocher is going to go to the Merseyside Stadium next year, just like Sam Hill, our young goalkeeper. So yeah, right now, whilst we are in third place, heading into the third final game of the season, away against Tottenham Hotspur in North London, the 3 teams below us have all got a game in hand, and even after this game against Spurs here, they would still have a game in hand on us as well. So yeah, it's great to be in the top 4 right now, but again, due to how tight it is in the Premier League season, it doesn't really matter where it says we are in the table right now. Basically, it's even Stevens for the most part, and it could really end up with anyone finishing anywhere. I mean, right now, Manchester United are in 8th place. They could finish in 3rd come the end of the season. It really has been that tight. So for our second and final game of today's episode, right now on a 14-game unbeaten streak, we take on Tottenham Hotspur away from home in North London. Haven't lost a single game in 2022 in the Premier League. The only defeat we've had in this calendar year has been in the FA Cup against Chelsea in the quarter-finals. Taking on Spurs, knowing it was going to be a tough game though, as they're desperate for Champions League football next year and not Europa League football. They would take the lead early on in the game. They'd start off better as well, and as Dele Alli finds a bit of space, he rifles it past Dean at the near post and gives Spurs a very early lead. And right from the first whistle, it was all Tottenham Hotspur. Had it not been for Dean Henderson making a couple of brilliant saves, it would have been 2 or 3-0 15 minutes in. We just could not cope with their attacks. However, whilst we weren't defending very well, when going forward, we were looking capable of getting back on level terms, and in the 29th minute, we would do so, and what a signing! This guy has been on transfer deadline day. You guys have been recommending him from Season 1. He's been on my shortlist from Season 1. It took a while to get him, but my word am I glad we did. £11 million plus Donna Brennan for Eze, since coming in from Queen's Park Rangers, has been superb. 2nd goal in the Premier League this season. He's already got as many goals as Morrison has got all year long, as he makes it 1-1, puts us back on level terms. But in the 34th minute, my arch nemesis in career mode would restore the lead for Tottenham Hotspur. He runs all the way to not Jose Mourinho but Mauricio Pochettino to celebrate and say, "Don't go, Gaffer, we don't want you to go." Son with the goal, 2-1. This guy always scores against me. It's my error, failing to clear the ball away with Scott McKenna there. That tight calf clearly affected him. It's 2-1, and 2-1 became 3-1 with 3 minutes to go in the half. Harry Kane not having a great season for Spurs. That was only his 6th goal of the campaign, but a big one there as he gives Spurs a 2-goal cushion. You can see the pass there deflected and ricocheted off McKenna's boot. I can't tell you how many times that's happened over the course of these past 2 seasons. The ball ricochets off one of our defenders and goes straight to an opposition player. Bit unlucky. It's 3-1 though. Spurs have a 2-goal cushion, and 4 minutes after the restart, I said to the boys in the dressing room, "Come on lads, you've got to turn this around, got to pick this up. We don't want our first Premier League defeat to come here away against Spurs in a massive game." Well, 4 minutes into the second half, Heung-min Son, who was just pulling the strings out there, makes it 4-1. Spurs have daylight between us and them, and are surely on course to become the first team to beat us in the Premier League in 2022. And whilst we weren't defending very well, you have to say Spurs were ruthless in this game. Whenever they got a chance, they took it. They were leading by 3 goals. I felt the scoreline flattered them a little bit though, because we were playing really well. We had golden chances here early on in the second half to cut the gap to 2 goals, but sadly we just couldn't take them. Barry Walsh hit the post there as it was still 4-1 after a little goalmouth scramble. Spurs get the danger away, and with 5 minutes to go, still down by 3 goals, we continue to press, continue to attack, look for one late goal to get ourselves back in the game, and with 5 minutes to go, this kind of summed the game up. Ollie McBurney off the bench, great cross by Shaw, causes a scramble, Lloris fails to deal with it, and the Scot free header 5 yards out. Yes, it's going to be hard for him to get the technique right there. You can see my reaction on the sidelines. I know that all throughout the game we had chances. We simply put just didn't take them. Still trailing by 3 goals. We continue to press, continue to push right till the last whistle. And as you can see, in stoppage time, we will get ourselves another goal back. Ivan Toney makes it 4-2 and does cut the deficit to 2 goals. And that means now Toney's got 35 goals in the Premier League season. That is now an official record. Nobody has scored more goals in a single Premier League season than Ivan Toney with 35. But you saw his reaction. He didn't care. He wasn't bothered about that. And why would he be? Because Ivan Toney's a team player and all he wanted from this game was the 3 points. Instead, we get 0. Heung-min Son tore us apart. The amount of times I've said that in my career, my videos is ridiculous. As Spurs get the win, 4-2 the final score, and the unbeaten run in the Premier League ends after a fantastic 14 games. At some point, the streak was going to end. It was bound to happen eventually, but it was good while it lasted. I won't throw the boys under the bus because we got 2 games to go. And if we win both of those games, we should, touch wood, still qualify for European football next year despite the catastrophic loss against Spurs. But we will have to pick ourselves up from it because we've got Cardiff away in the penultimate game of the Premier League season. What a tough test that's going to be. And on the final day, we've got Watford at home at Bramwell Lane. So a look at the Premier League table as we have now entered the 1st of May with just 2 games to go for us, 4 games to go for the Gunners. They've got 2 games in hand on us, but are 2 points behind, and the other teams have got 3 games left in the season. So we've played more games than anyone else in the top 8 right now as we drop down to 5th place. I did see on the 1st of May that Arsenal were playing Manchester United and Everton were away at St Mary's, so I thought I'd simulate one day in the calendar and end after the first fixtures worth in May for the other teams around us right now. And as you can see, Arsenal, Manchester United will take a share of the points at Old Trafford, so great result for us there. I was fist pumping once I saw that. Both teams failed to get the maximum 3 points there, a draw, but Everton did destroy the Saints away at St Mary's. 4-1 the final score there. So with 2 games to go for us, Everton, Manchester United, and 3 games to go for Chelsea, Spurs and Arsenal, this is how the table looks. Chelsea and Spurs are in 3rd and 4th and got 3 games to go each. If they win their remaining 3 games, they will guarantee a Champions League place for next season, so destiny is firmly in their hands. We are in 5th with 70 points. Everton are in 6th with 70 points. We're only separated by a single goal with 2 games to go. That shows you how tight it's been. And as for Arsenal and Manchester United, right now United rank outsiders. They've got 2 games to go and they're 3 points behind us and Everton. I don't think they'll be making 5th or 6th now, but Arsenal right now, they've got a game in hand on both us and the Toffees, and they're only 1 point behind as well. My goodness gracious me. There are 2 games to go in the Premier League season. They'll be coming in the next episode of the season finale. Do not miss it. Will Sheffield United cling on to a European place, or will we drop out of the race in the final 2 games? Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. If you have, then please drop a like. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the season finale, the final 2 games, very soon.